Now, let's look at the first one sini. Whenever question is asking for ratio ataupun fraction, most often that you need to give your answer in simplest term. Okay? So, ratio, you can rewrite ratio in terms of fraction as well if it makes calculation easier. Rather than linear, macam ratio linear kata, kalau yang macam bentuk fraction, lagi senang kamu rasa kamu dapat simplify, then do it in fraction first, and then change it back into ratio for the final answer. Now, in this case, for this question, in order for you to do to write these numbers in ratio, mesti apa? Sama? Same unit. Okay, so this is where tahu same unit teacher. So I have one, ia buat 1.5 liter and then 450 liter. Sekatinya bang. Pasal teacher cakap same unit, itu karya sekatinya mililiter tu jadi liter. So 1.5 450. So won't be that. So it's either you change the liters into milliliters ataupun milliliters to liters. However, we want to try as best as we can to avoid decimal. So the obvious choice would be changing 1.5 liter into milliliters by times by 1000. Okay, and that will give you, alright, and then you change that one. So that means your apple juice 1500, your mango juice 450. So macam linear macam ni, kadang-kadang it's difficult for you to simplify, but if it's written in fraction form, which is the equivalent form, you can simplify. Tapi tunggu dulu, ni paper tu kan, ni pakai calculator kan, apa-apa. So use your calculator, use your fraction button, and your correct answer would be, what's the correct answer? Your calculator gives you 10. Do you know how to use the calculation? Do you know how to use the fraction button? No? Yes, no? No? Yes? Yes. Do you know where's the fraction button? Kalau anda tahu tu, lihatkan kawan-kawan kamu. Ni very helpful in cutting time. So fraction button, there are many uses. The fraction button, you can use the fraction button to change, correct, fraction to decimal or decimal to fraction. You can change mixed number into improper fraction. Okay, you can also, if you use the time button, okay, not applicable here, but then the time button, sometimes you get a decimal, I thought it will give you the same thing as well. Alright, so catat. Artinya you can have the option pakai divide sign, 10 divided by 150 divided by 450. But if you have the one line calculator, payah sikit you need to be familiar apa yang kena bagi arah your screen atau macam mana ditulis arah atau, because sometimes more often than not dia buat macam tu. Pasal kalkulatornya yang satu line display, dia give like that. So kalau yang two line display lagi better. Okay, I've covered this already with you. Okay, next one. 1 liter of fruit drink is shared between 3 cups. The amount of the cups is in the ratio 9, 6, 10. Calculate the number of milliliters in each cup. So you have 9, 6, 10. What do we need to do? Amir, what will be your step?
Add 9, 6, 10,
Yep, you add to get the total number of parts, which is
25.
25. And then what do you do with that?
Divide 10, 1 liter divided by 25.
You divide 1 liter. Okay, however, because the question says the number of milliliters, first before you divide, you change the 1 liter into 1000 milliliter. Okay, so that means the 1000 milliliter, you divide it with 25, which gives you, your calculator gives you 40. That means for each of these, you multiply with 40. And you will get the ratio, which is 3, lurus tu. 360, 240, and 400. Right? A shop buys, so far okay, 3 markah, 2 markah, 5. Tadi target berapa? 11. Hey. Paling minimum tu 21 lah. Allah, apa benda 11? Okay. Right, so next one. A shop buys bottles of the food drink for $3.20. It sells them at a profit of 15%. Calculate the selling price of each bottle of fruit drink. Well, Afiq, what do you do? What would you do? And then? So you find 15%. Okay. Boleh. So 15% means 1500 times and gives me what? Berapa? 0.48. Then that's it. That's the final answer. Plus dengan apa? $3. Kenapa plus? Profit. Yalah, kenapa plus? Pasal profit. Because kalau profit, you add. Okay. Let's see if it's logic. Most common answer, student find the percentage saja. Lepas satu, confident kan? Tinggalkan tapi lupa adding. So when you do that one, this is where the reflection happens. So kalau you tanya selling price and your final answer is 48 cents, sedangkan the original is $3.20 and you jual 48 cents, that's not making a profit. Right? They're actually making a loss. So in order for you to find the selling price should be more than the original price. Okay? So this is logic because 10% of $3.20 is 32 cents and your answer is 48 cents. So that's more. So that's fine. So that's your 2 marks. Okay, part D here. The number of bottles of fruit drinks sold has grown exponentially at a constant rate of 2.5% per year. 5 years ago, the shop sold 16,620 bottles. Calculate the number of bottles sold this year. Looks familiar? Yes, macam compound interest ataupun simple interest. Which one? Simple compound, because they are exponential. Simple interest linear. Exponential, so it's a compound. Okay, so artinya the number of bottles ni, kalau apa namanya ni, kalau compound interest will be A equals to P1 plus R% to the power of T. Tapi kalau formula ni, A sama P adalah in dollars. Okay? But we can still apply sini. So the amount na tu is what we get all together at the end. So actually the number of bottles ni is actually A. P. A o P. A o P. Okay. Ketani tahu definitely ane is R. Ketani tahu this one definitely is T. So we have dua buting sini between 16,620 and number of bottles. Which one is A? Which one is P? Now remember P kalau duit represents principal ataupun the money that you put in initially, awal-awal. Okay? So which one? Which one is A? Which one is P? 16,620 is P, the original one. Artinya yang dicari adalah A. This is the instance where you never done questions like this, but because of perkataan exponential, you've guessed it that it's similar to compound interest, and because the difference of compound interest pakai duit, and in this case another duit, we just think of what actually principal atau means, amount atau means, and then apply this accordingly. So it's just a matter of substituting the whole thing pakai calculator and then get your answer. Tekan. Put the numbers correctly. Sudah? Is it exact? If it's not exact, you should give the answer correct to one decimal place, whole number, 3 significant figures. Yan, whole number 3 significant figures. There you go. Alright. So your answer would be berapa? 18. Macam 8 saja tadi. 18,000. 100. That's your 2 mark. We discussed this. Why? The bottles of juice are 18 point. No, I haven't checked your paper. I've checked 11.6. Okay, let's check yours. Teacher bagi jawapannya dulu. Anybody? Sikit dah ada sikit atau. Oh, Tika. Batika, apa you buat? Good. Okay. If it says nearest millimeter, artinya sini berapa? 18 kan 19? 18.6. 18.4. Because kenapa? Because ni in centimeter. Centimeter. And because you cakap nearest millimeter, what you can do, okay, to find the that's 185. So nearest millimeter means 105, 104, which is equivalent to, okay, this is crucial, because once you find that values, okay, then baru dapat the lower bound and the upper bound. So lower bound and upper bound. Okay, now differ than 23 centimeter. 23 centimeter, you cakap nearest centimeter. That means here would be 24, sini 22. You see the difference between nearest millimeter sama nearest centimeter. Nearest millimeter also equivalent to 1 decimal place, 0.1. Okay, the nearest 0.1. So that's why 18.6 and 18.4. So that means here would be 22.5. Lower Tika? Okay. So how would you find the lower bound then? Lower bound of what? Okay, lower bound of the shells. Kan? Okay. Lower bound of the shells, so which means 22.5. Lagi? Minus the upper bound of the bottle. The upper bound of the bottle is berapa, Ridwan? Upper bound of the bottle. The upper bound of the bottle. Good. Do you get 3.95? Do you get 3.95? Three marks for that one. Partial mark. Okay, partial mark. Kalau kamu find the upper bound and lower bound for both 18.5 and 23, you get 1 mark. All that effort for 1 mark. Indah. Okay, sini yang baik hati. At least one. Satu markah. Any of the 18.45, 18.55, 22.5, 23.5, any of these four number dapat satu markah. Okay? Any marks, any working after you find any of this, and then ada kamu minus, taking into account which one, satu markah. Walaupun salah. So contohnya, instead of ya 22.5 minus 18.55, dia buat 22.5 minus 18.45. Yang di lower bound. Boleh satu markah lagi. Happy. Satu markah lagi. Ini dua markah lah. Ataupun instead of 22.5, dia pakai 23.5. 23.5 minus 18.55. Tapi yang penting memang the first number should be the measurement of the shelf. Okay, minus measurement, whatever measurement of the bottle, the boundaries of the bottle. So you get that one mark. Ada yang dapat dua markah? Weh, bagus. Cukup sudah 26? 26 kan? Belum. Okay, jangan dulu ye. Okay. Okay. What can you say about angle A and B? Bukan sama. Equal. Why are they equal? Alternate angles on parallel lines. Okay. Artinya once you get A, automatically you dapat B. Once you get B, automatically you get A. In this case, which one can we find out first? A. By which property? Menang kan? Pasal apa? Angles on straight line. Artinya jawapannya adalah 142 terus 142. Doi. Dah sampai 1 minit for 2 marks. So 1 mark each. Calculate the interior angle of a regular 12-sided polygon. Okay, sini ada formulanya to find interior, tapi teacher selalu pakai untuk kemudahan semua, and then it applies to any questions on polygons, whether it's regular polygons or whether it's irregular. I always use to find exterior angle. First, that's 360 divided by 12, which is equals to 30. So that means the interior angles is 180 minus the exterior angle, which is equals to, metodnya dah berubah. Okay. Tapi ada satu formula, kalau kamu lihat formula book, ada satu formula that automatically you can use to find the interior angle lah. Tapi I use this one because it helps with any type of polygons. Okay, you only need to remember this one. Whether it's for regular or irregular. 2 markah. Terabang. Okay, ini terabang juga. Okay. The diagram shows a circle center O. The points M and P lie on the circumference of the circle. A and B is a tangent to the circle at M. Find the value of F and the value of G. Where is G? Where is G? G is on the diameter, not diameter. G is on the radius. Ada kaitan tapi not accurate. G is an angle on the isosceles triangle. Why is it isosceles? Because OP and OM are equal. Why are they equal? Because they are radius. There you go. So you use that property that there are angles in isosceles triangle, and because there are angles on an isosceles triangle, that means angle OPM is G equals to OMP. This one is G as well. Okay, that would help. F is angle substandard ataupun F is the angle at the circumference. Relationnya would be angle at the circumference is equals to, okay, angle at the center is equals to 2 times angle at the circumference. So ada kaitannya dengan angle at the center sini. Once we identify all that, so macam biasa you can put your notation macam biasa teacher buat for your revision sake. So in this case, you can find your G first. How do you find, what else? What else do we see? We see tangent. Tangent meets radius at 90 degrees. Jangan miss 90 degrees. Tangent sama radius means 90 degrees. That means G is 90 which is equals to 34. Oh, sorry. Apa? Partial marks. Sabar. Sini salah lah. Sinilah. Okay. Jadinya untuk cari itu apa? 180 minus 34 minus 34 equals to 112. So artinya F is 112 divided by 2 equals to 56. Okay. Kalau ikut parking scheme, 56 ni 1. Yang ni is 2. Does that help? Did you get that 2 marks? Okay, alright. So actually F tu memang automatically equals to 56 because that is a property of angles in alternate segment. It's called segment. This chord, if chord yang ada chord ada angle in alternate segment. Tapi teacher I don't use this for you because initially when we did this one, your special awareness was not that strong, so I kind of eliminate this property. But even if we eliminate this property pun, you can still use the other property that constantly being used. Angle center equals to angle circumference, tangent bertemu radius at 90 degrees, and then angles in isosceles triangle. Okay, so that's 3 marks. Moving on. Oh, kacang ini. Dia tahu sudah ni. Dia cakap cyclic quadrilateral. Cluenya cyclic quadrilateral. What is the property of cyclic quadrilateral? Opposite angles are? Okay, sum of opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral equals to 180. That means the opposite angle is here. Can we find that? Yes, this one you can find it by 180 minus 24 minus 27 equals to, kalau kamu dapat 129, satu markah. Okay, that means for K, that's 180 minus 129, which is equals to 51.